Okay, so before I start, I just want to say yes. I do know it doesn't make any sense. I'm saying that I want to give you a January wrap up. And February is almost over, and I'm going to have to start working on the February wrap up. But I did read 13 books, and I do want to talk about these 13 books that I read in January. So here is my January wrap up. Okay, so I know that it's 13 books I'm about to tell you about. And because it is 13 books, I'm really not going to break them all down and give a review. I'm just going to go ahead and just list them, tell you who the author is, and then give you my star rating. Because, again, I mean, it is almost March now, and I'm giving you a January wrap up. So some of these books I really don't remember what happened most. One thing I did decide this year though was I was going to try a new genre, so I did try the romance genre. So my original idea was I was going to just read romance novels for January, but I started doing that, and I was like, I can't. I just could not do nothing but read romance novels. So I just decided I'm just going to continue to just read them and sprinkle them throughout the year. All right, so the first book I read of the year is Some Other Now by Sarah Everett. And for this one, I gave that a 3 stars. I don't want to go too much into detail about it, but for me, the story was okay. Something about it was just kind of annoying, and I just thought it could have been executed a whole lot better. Then I read This Close to Okay by Lisa Cross Smith. That one got a 2.9. It's the same situation. I liked the plot. Some of the things that were happening did not make sense to me, and it just made me question, like, why were these choices made for this book? After that, I ended up reading Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. This is actually the third romance, because the other two were categorized as romance as well. And for this one, I gave it a 4.5. And I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was, for lack of better terms, I thought it was cute. This one was like friends to enemies to lovers whole thing. So, if that's what you're into, I would say to try this one as well. And then I read Chaos Theory by Nick Stone, and this one I gave it 3.5. This also is in the romance genre. I don't know if I would say it's like complete romance. It's like a trauma bond. There's a lot of trauma that the two characters have to go through and deal with. So if that's not your thing, I would kind of leave this one alone. But the next one that I read was Rhythm and Muse by Enya Brown, and that one I gave 4 stars. That one was, I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was some things that I wish would have happened in it that did not happen, but the stuff that did happen, I really did enjoy that book. But I'm going to say, none of these books so far have I enjoyed more than my next book, which was 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. This is my only 5-star this month. And this book so far has topped every romance novel that I've read so far. And like I said, this is February. We're in almost the end of February. So I have read a couple novels that I'm going to talk about later, but none of those romance novels has touched this novel. This is my favorite. And this is another one that it's about trauma bonding, and it does have some trauma in it. It tells you about some stuff that they went through. So if you're not into that kind of thing, I wouldn't read it. But I would say give it a try because it was really good. It is my favorite so far. But then I read The Niger Wife by Vanessa Walters. And this one was supposed to be like, I want to say like a mystery thriller, but there was no mystery and there was no thriller in this book. This book for me was a 1.5. I think I gave it the wrong rating. It really should have been like a 0.5, to be quite honest, because some of the story at times is like the author forgot what they were supposed to be writing about. Like there's supposed to be a mystery, but they don't even like try to look for anything. They don't try to go further into the mystery portion of the book. And then it says it's a thriller, but there's nothing that's like that gets you. It's just a book that just is like, it's got me stuttering because I don't know how to quite explain it. But The other one I read after that one was a whole lot better, and that was a 4.5 for me, and that was His Only Wife. And that's by Peace Adzo Medi. I know I butchered that name, and I'm so sorry. I was not trying to butcher, but I know I did it. This book, it was good. It was, it could have been a TV show the way it went. It really could have. And I just felt bad for the main characters and stuff that she was going through. But this one, I would say read that one. And it was also, I don't know if you can categorize it as romance, but I seen it in that category, which is why I purchased it. But I will say that I'm glad that I did purchase this book because it was very good. I couldn't put it down. Then I was like, okay, I think I had no romance for a while. So I was like, it's time to step out of the whole romance thing, which is what I did when I read The Niger Wife. So I thought reading The Niger Wife, it was going to be good, but mm-mm. So I ended up reading a horror novel. Well, actually, it was a novella. Now I gave it 3 stars. It was Crossroads by Laura Hightower. And for this book, I just wanted to know why they made the decisions that they made. Why did the main character do the stuff that she did? Like, I know she was grieving, but some of the stuff I'm like, you have got to be an idiot to keep doing this. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So I was like, okay, I think I can go back to romance like I was supposed to be doing this month. So I did go to another romance book, and that was Her Good Side by Rebecca Witherspoon, and I gave that a 4.25. The synopsis is what drew me into this book, and I really expected to, like, I thought it was gonna be another 5 for me, but it was good. Um, but I would say for me, it was just good. Like, I think for me, the better one was Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute. I feel like it could have went that way, but of course, the stories are different. I'm just gonna put it out there. The stories are different, but I feel like it could have went that way with the storytelling, but it just didn't reach it for me. And then after that book, I was like, okay, I think it is time to step out of romance again. And then I ended up reading When the Reckoning Comes by Latanya McQueen, and I gave that book a 3.5. I'll be honest, I didn't think I was going to give it that high. The synopsis reminded me of like one of my worst books of last year, which was The Jackal. It was like The Jackal, something like that. They have kind of similar themes and similar plots, but this one was a whole lot better. This one, it did more storytelling than I feel like the other one did, where it consistently tried to tell a story, where Jackal was just all about trying to scare you, I feel like it was trying to do, but it didn't do it. And then I read, which I'm looking at my rating saying a 2, and I think this should be lower than what I gave it as well. And that was The Starless Sea by Aaron Morgenstern. And I think my reasoning for not liking this book, one, I didn't know what I was reading. I did not understand what I was listening to because I did this as an audiobook. So I think I would read it again, but I'll actually read a physical copy because the audiobook at times pulled me away from the story. So it's like I was listening to stuff and I had to keep rewinding. I'm like, okay, wait, huh? What did I just listen to? What is going on? So I think maybe I'll go back to this one again sometime and just read it physical. My last book of the month was Assistant to the Villain, and that one I gave 3.75. I know I gave it a rating, but I don't know if that should be the ratings that I keep. Like, I enjoyed it, but as I'm sitting and thinking about it, I'm so far removed from it. I'm like, did I enjoy it because I was doing so much romance and this was different, or did I enjoy it because I actually enjoyed it? And I mean, I think I actually just enjoyed it. And the story of it all. I know that it's supposed to be another one, and I do want to read the other one to see what happens. But I will say that the main character in this one, she was getting on my nerves. But I will say it wasn't as bad as when I read Twilight years ago. How Bella was annoying. This character is annoying, but not as annoying as Bella. So that was everything I read in January. Oh yeah, so I was watching BookTuber, and she does this thing where she counts all the physical books that she has, and she'll figure out how many books she has left from after a certain period. I think she does like 3 months. She'll count all the books that she read, subtract it from the books that she had physically, and then if she purchased anything, she'll add it all together to see where she is in all her physical books. So it made me curious. I was like, okay, so how many do I have? So I counted everything, and I had 168 books. Right, so out of that 168 books, I read 12. I know I read 13 books altogether, but only one was audio. So I read 12 physical books. And then in January, I ended up purchasing 11 books. And then I do the subscription boxes. So I ended up getting one book. So that ended up being 12. I read 12 physical books, replaced it with the same number again, replaced it with 12 books, and got all the way back to 168 books. I could have read not one book in January and would have had the same number. But no, I read 13, only 12 physical. And I'm still looking at the same number I started the year with. So I got to get to moving on reading these books and slowing down on purchases because I want to get that number down as much as I can by the end of the year. I don't want to be looking at like 200-300 books I have to read and still buying stuff. I don't think I want to do that. So I'm going to try my hardest to get that number down and to curb my purchases. And we're just going to see what I did in February at the end because I don't want to be looking at those books like that again. But until next time, I will be coming up with another one. And hopefully it's not going to be like the end of March. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a February wrap up. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.